Good evening guys and welcome. Today has been an absolute crappy day. The weather has been really horrible. It's been pouring and it's just been gloomy and very depressing. So I decided to be really warm and cozy and so please don't mind the blanket today. I am just really in need of some warmth and comfort today. It's just, yeah, been a really, the weather's just been absolutely horrendous. I'm gonna make this video very short. I had a couple of people like raise questions before in a previous video that I did about the top 5 bags that I think are worth investing in. So I will link that video below if you're interested in watching it. If I do say so myself, I think I came up with some pretty good options. Noting that I only obviously picked bags out of my own collection. I've only got about, I think, 14 or 15 bags. So picking 5 out of them was not so difficult because all 15 of mine I think are pretty worth investing. I kind of like to go with classics rather than trendy pieces. I do have a couple of exceptions, but you'll hear all about that in more detail in that video, so please check out the link below. So today I'm just going to be talking about my Fendi Peekaboo. I'm going to be doing a full-blown review of this bag a little bit later, but for now I wanted to keep this video nice and short and sweet and talk to you about how I make my Fendi Peekaboo look like a Fendi Peekaboo. So basically in that video I always do actually, I have my bag opened up like this. And a lot of people wondering how I kind of get this look because, you know, this is a very classic look and this is kind of how Fendi imagined their Fendi Peekaboos to look like. So for those people that have been following me for a while, I just wanted to say that I'm really sorry for not posting more regularly. I've had a bit of a social media hiatus because I have been going through a lot in my personal life. And I think, you know, I'm not quite ready to talk about it at the moment, but later on, you know, when things have settled down and when I've found my feet, I will, you know, let you guys in on it and tell you guys about my experiences in the recent months. But yeah, the long and short of it is that I just haven't really been feeling 100%, so I've been falling really behind on my videos. I'm still going to try and keep up with my schedule because I do find comfort and enjoyment out of doing these YouTube videos. So to me, it's a really good thing and it kind of takes my mind off the disasters that have been going on in my life. So without further ado, I'm going to get started on talking about this bag. Alright guys, so my bag is a bit heavy at the moment, so I'm gonna just pop it down because this is the bag that I'm using at the moment. It's got all of my daily stuff in there, so I thought it would be a really good opportunity to also just kind of, you know, talk about this bag since I've got it out of storage and my display case, display shelves. So when you first get your Peekaboo out of the box, this is what it's going to probably look like. It'll be shut on both sides. You know, so you've got your clasp on the top and you've got your clasp on the top on this side as well. So it's basically a mirror image on both sides. And you've got obviously your separator down the middle and your top handle on top, also kind of like in the middle as well, if you can see that. So basically first you've got to find the front of the bag because obviously both sides look exactly the same. So the front of the bag will be, when you look inside, it'll have the pocket here, if you can see that zip pocket, and it'll also have the plaque as well. So this will be the front of the bag. And ultimately the result that you're looking for is that you want the bag to look like this. And you know, when you first get it, you're kind of really scared because the leather hasn't quite softened, it hasn't quite aged for you to be able to pull it this low. So my first message to you is do not force it. Do not just force the bag to go down like that. Even though the bag has been designed so that the front will fall down like this, but leather, when they first make it, they don't make it in this particular shape. So if you force it and you pull it down too quickly, it's going to damage the leather. It's going to stretch it out inorganically. So definitely do not force it. What you want to do is when you have it like this, just leave it. This is kind of what it's going to look like in the beginning when you open it up. So when you open the front and you like have it and the leather is a little bit stiff, not so soft, not so aged, this is what it's going to look like. It's going to fall down just a tiny bit. So what you want to do is you want to just yank on that just a tiny bit. You want to pull that down a little bit, and you want to make sure that there is this nice little dent on the bottom. So if you can, and then if you run your finger through it, just make sure that there's no creases. Make sure that there's no like kind of the leather is not jutting out somewhere, like it's not sticking out. Like if I can show you as an example, make sure the leather isn't like sticking out like that. Run your finger through that. Just make sure that it's nice and smooth, because that will set you up for a really, really good shape once you get it a little bit lower. So first it'll be about this high, and then you want to just pull on it a little bit, and you just leave it like this. Don't, when you want to get something, what you want to do, so you want to pull it up and out so you can get stuff in and out. And then when you want to close your bag, you're not really closing it, you just push the flap back down into place. So what you want to do is you want to keep your bag in this kind of shape for maybe the first 2 weeks. And then every couple of days, just use a little bit more and just pull on that a little bit more so that it goes down and a little bit further and a little bit further. Now, you can stop whenever you want. If you like the look of the bag being about this high open, that's totally fine. If you can pick where you want the bag to drop down to. For me, I really like it for the bag to show the plaque, because I think the plaque, the gold plaque on the inside, is actually really, really pretty. So I'll see if I can show you guys. Yeah, there it is. So that plaque there, I think looks absolutely stunning. So for me, I took my time with it. It took about maybe, I think, 2 or 3 months for me to really get it to the shape that I want. So basically every 2 days I would pull a little bit lower and a little bit lower. And then after the first 2 weeks, instead of doing it every 2 days, because once you pull it down to about here, you don't want to then stretch it out too much. So after 2 weeks, what you want to do is you want to pull it down only once a week. And then you just do it very, very slightly, very gently, and let gravity do the work. So because you do have a metal bit here that's going to be heavier, when you have it like that, gravity will just naturally pull the leather down. And then in that way, it does it in a very natural way, and it's not going to damage the leather or stretch it out too quickly. Because if you stretch it out too quickly, it's going to damage the bag. So eventually what you're going to have is you're going to have this beautiful thing like this. So here, what you'll be able to see is that you can see the plaque at the bottom, which is perfectly in line with the flat bottom part of the flap, and then it just beautifully curves upwards like that. You'll be able to see the gorgeous cream lambskin interior, and also the black and white tortoiseshell bar at the top. And this is just the beautiful shape of the Peekaboo in its natural beauty. And then obviously you've got the back of the bag, and it just looks like that. And voila! So this took me about 3 months to do. So it is a really long process, but don't be scared about pulling the leather down, because the bag was designed to look like this. You know, for me, when I'm wearing it on the crook of my shoulder, the crook of my arm, you know, down here at my elbow, and you look down, you can see the plaque, and you can see that beautiful zip, you can see here, and I think it just looks really, really stunning. And yeah. And so also what you're going to have is the shape. It's going to look like that. You're going to have a bit of a fatter front, because obviously with the leather being pulled down, it kind of like bulges outwards a little bit like that. And you're going to have a bit of a flat back. So this is how I wear my Fendi Peekaboo. Hopefully this has shown you guys, you know, how to do it, and hopefully this video has shown you not to be too afraid. It's actually a very simple process. A lot of people have probably thought, oh my god, yeah, I should just like pull it downwards. But I, like myself included, you know, you're gonna worry that it's gonna stretch it, it's gonna damage the leather. So this video is to assure you that it does not damage or stretch the leather. It is perfectly fine for it to be like that. And there you go. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Let me know if you have any comments or feedback, or if you have any questions about the Fendi Peekaboo or any other bag in my collection. I've done a couple of review videos on my Chanel bags, and I've also done a few unboxings as well when I've talked about my Lady Dior's and my Birkins and stuff. So I will do some more review videos in a little bit. They take a little bit of effort on my part, so that's why for me I have to kind of really prepare myself and pick a week where I'm feeling very energized. But otherwise, if you have any more questions, leave it down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.